Hello, this is Farrell Vincent with Nation 506, and I wanted to give you guys a video today on the strongest commander events. And whether it's Frenzy or Void, the events are generally the same for the lead up. Once your nation has hit a certain amount of time, you will eventually start getting these events. It is every other week. You will find yourself being paired against an enemy nation. In this case, we're up against 477. We fought them before. I think we won. We may have lost. I don't remember. But the point of this video really does come down to how to get your points for each individual event, what to pay attention to, and what to make sure that you are setting yourself up for. So I want to start with buildings, just because that's what my nation is currently on. With the building event, something to note is how the points are distributed, right? For every 1 point of power a building gives you, you will get 90 points back. What does this mean? That means that the buildings that will give you a higher amount of BP will give you more points, right? Not rocket science there. But there's some buildings that give a surprising amount of points. Like, for instance, if you click on, in this case, the dispatch center, I'm upgrading it right now. And as you can see, going from level 30 to level 31, which is the upgrade that I'm working on, is 11,000 points. When you look at that over the course of, 90 points per upgrade, I mean, that's a fair bit. So as weird as that is, right, it's a building that doesn't cost me uranium. That's why I picked it. I did upgrade my wall, and I upgraded my garage this event just because I wanted to get those taken care of. Now I'm saving up for C34, and that will be a very good building day, right? But, with buildings, something that you may have to do at a high level of play, and kind of the last thing I'll talk about, is occasionally you will have to, before the week begins, remove a farm, 2 farms. Everyone does it a little different, but you're going to basically remove 2 buildings. The reason being is it's better to remove them and participate than be at a C30 where you're not building for that particular week. For instance, the next Void, I guarantee you I'm going to be destroying these 2 buildings and getting about 2 million points, just upgrading them from level 1 to level 30. So just a heads up there on what you can do if you have maxed out your building slots, right? The next event that follows building, and I'm going to tell you this because this is the only one that seems to be a guarantee. This is what my nation has talked about, but also really and truthfully, it does seem to be accurate, which is following building and technology. We always tend to get, and it's always been, recruitment. So troop recruitment is very simple. I'm not very well set up for troop recruitment tomorrow just because I don't care that much this event, right? I'm only going for chests. I'm not really trying super hard. But the best way to handle troop recruitment is to time your recruits to reset. Like if you see here, 3 minutes after reset, I'm going to get 1,120 snipers, right? I'm going to get 953 T11 axemen. So that's going to give me a lot of points right off the bat. And generally speaking, every recruitment day, I manage to get all 3 chests the moment I start. For alliances, I do recommend that you utilize your alliance technology, and specifically, I would like you to utilize national recruitment, this ability right here. That 18% will really go up. It also lasts for 12 hours, right? So it gives you a very broad window for all of your members to really rock recruitment day. It's also better to pop your recruitment speed ups when you have that buff active. The other thing to do is I like to switch my officers to Loreline and Barney. Why? So Loreline increases my recruitment speed by 28%. That's a huge deal. And Barney really just does the same thing, but he's a lot less, right? Like I've got him up to 5 stars. I really don't have a lot of levels on him, which is fine. But these two are very good to utilize when you're going into recruitment day, because that will save you speed ups, or at the very least, just get you a little bit more troops a little bit faster. And that's kind of everything with recruitment. From there, you have many different starting events. So you could get, zombies, which zombies are very self-explanatory. You're going to go out onto the world map. You're going to find the highest level zombie you can get, and you're going to go kill it, right? It's worth mentioning, like, when you get level 30 zombies, which you most likely, and if you don't have, I'd be surprised, but if you have those level 30 zombies, they tend to be overly farmed. I know a lot of people in my alliance that will teleport over to our neighbors over here, and like we'll kill their zombies, and we'll sit there for the 48 hours. But both zombies and recruitment do last for 2 days. And the way to get a lot of fuel is in your black market. I always buy the fuel canisters. The reason being is I love Zombie Day, right? Like, it's one of my favorite ones. If you've seen my previous videos, you know how I feel about zombies. I see them as power progression, and so by getting fuel up and using them on zombie days, you're really just feeding into a power vacuum. And the fuel you see here is from the previous event till now. I have not spent any money on it, but I have put a fair bit of gold into it by resetting the black market. But, getting up to that, couple hundred fuel is very good. If you are, really trying to get like the most amount of points possible, it's best to have a lot of fuel. And then the final day is gathering. It's everyone's favorite. So gathering's a little tricky. If you, like today, I don't really care because I know for a fact tomorrow's going to be recruitment, so I'm not setting up gathering day. But at the end of every event, I try to time my gathering to come back after reset. So what does that look like? In the previous event, I managed to get, sorry, I got to scroll all the way down, 3 of these level 4 food mines all to myself right at reset. So the day before, I did all my daily duties. I took care of my Doomsday Challenge. I took care of all my ruins. I took care of all my zombie killing for the day. And I sent out 4 of my 5 rains to gather from food. When it comes to gathering day, everyone tells you to get gold, and they're wrong. Because if you're going to have the ability to be in an elite mine of any kind for the same amount of time as you were inside of a gold mine, you will get more points. What do I mean by that? You got to know how much you're getting for gold. So gold, and I have, this particular commander skill that gets your gather speed up, but gold, if you have the maximum research, will give you 3 base gold per hour, plus an additional 3, 4 for the 2 hours that you have that buff. But even with that 4, right, even with having, 7 gold per hour, that right there is not as many points as you would hope for, right? Because over the course of, several hours, right? Over the course of time, you're getting 900 points per gold that you farm. So 7 gold for 900 points, I believe is about 6,300 an hour if I'm doing my mental math right now. And that's a fair bit, I suppose. But 6,300 points per hour, where like this right here, just the base of minerals for me is 2,000, right? You get an additional 6,700, and I don't have a gather speed buff going. So I could get this even higher. Um, Gathering from elite mines is more points. It doesn't matter what elite mine you gather from, although I will let you guys in on a secret, which is the best thing to gather on gathering day is food and oil, depending, because one, your alliance isn't going to go there first, and two, your natural gather speed of that is insanely high. So if you want to maximize your points on gathering day, I get food. And I think the last gathering event, I got 2 million, like 2,100,000, something like that, points gathering. And all I really gathered was food that day. Like I picked up almost, 20 million food in a single day. It was a crazy day. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very hard to time that. But if you're going to be in an elite mine for 14 hours, which is about how long it takes me to gather 4 level 5 gold tiles, you're going to get 81,000 points a tile. Whereas that same 8 hours, that same 12 to 14 hours in a food mine, I'm going to get about 107,000 points per, for the same amount of time. So my point to you is gold isn't the best. It's really good because you don't have to deal with the timing of everything. Like if you have a very active alliance and they're all in elite mines all the time, and you have to worry about people jumping into your elite mine and ruining that time for after reset, then go for gold. But if you can sneak it, go for the food. And make sure the day of that you're not bothering with gold. Because as soon as gather day hits, the first thing I want you doing is your daily chores, right? The first thing I want you doing, your doomsday challenge for your C30. And then keep your zombie kill rain home. And send out your other 4 fleets to food. And I promise you're going to get a lot more points than the rest of your alliance. So my pro tip to you, it really does work. I'm not joking. If you're an R4 or an R5 and you're thinking about an alliance mine reset on that day, please note that your food and oil are going to give you more points. And that's just from a fundamental standpoint, right? So I'll leave it at this, right? Because we just had this level 5 food mine pop up right here, right? So if you see here, this is level 5 elite mineral mine. It's 240,000 minerals. There's a 1-to-1 ratio there, yeah? So that's 240,000 points on gathering day as an alliance, right? I'm sure no one individual is going to be allowed to gather all of that themselves. If they were, that would be awesome. I would love that, but I doubt it'll ever happen. This level 4 food mine right here that just spawned is 2,400,000. There is a 10-to-1 ratio for the total amount of points for food in the event. So what does that look like? Move a decimal place over, and that's over to the left one, right? So you come over to the left one, you're going to get 240,000. This equals that level 5. A level 5 food is 3 million food or oil, and that's going to be 300,000 points. Again, if you're thinking about it in terms of a nation and in terms of your alliance, it is actually more points inside of a food and oil elite mine than you're going to get out of the individual tiles for gold and stuff like that. So I don't know, just pro tip. I know I'm rambling. I highly, highly, highly recommend that everyone understand the gloriousness that is food and oil on gathering day. So I hope this helps you. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for your time.